What's going on? Welcome to HDiiTV. You're now rocking with your boy. I couldn't even get the boy out. It is 20-something degrees and I gotta go delivering this stuff. But hey, man, I'm happy I had a job. If I didn't have one, boy, I'd be out here trying to get something done. Now, Lamar Jackson has been overly criticized his whole career. Everybody calls him a receiver, a running back, and people don't understand the racial tones that you're giving. And somebody gonna get their wife snatched one day. I'll tell you, boy, people wise be out here looking like, boy, some Fred. God dang. Let me stop. But Lamar Jackson has been criticized ever since he was in high school. That's one of the reasons why he didn't play at Miami, because they wanted to move him to a defensive back or a wide receiver. So he said, no, I'm a quarterback. And that's why he left and went to Louisville, because Teddy Bridgewater and him are from the same area. I think the same high school, by the way. I'm not sure, I gotta look that up, but they're from the same area. And he got him to go to Louisville. So once he got there, it was like, okay, here we go. But the thing is that it's kind of that's kind of been the issue, has been with Bill Polian putting out there that he needs to convert the receiver. Ever since then, he's been proving people wrong. Ozzie, one of his last jobs was he jumped back into the first round and got Lamar Jackson. Lamar was gonna probably drop to the second, maybe third, but they got him. And ever since then, the guy has been phenomenal. Every year he's gotten better, but nobody gives him credit. They just bring up the playoff losses like nobody else was losing in the playoffs. Peyton Manning is a career choker in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers, career choker in the playoffs. But because of their regular seasons and their numbers, their gaudy numbers, which everybody goes by now, it's just a travesty. All right, now, I'm finna put the phone down so you guys could probably still hear me. Gotta eat before work. Now, he's putting up numbers. He's averaging like over 200 yards passing this year, one of his highest. He stopped running all the time. He's throwing from the pocket. He's doing everything that these guys want. He had to beg Baltimore for some receivers. But this is a man who get to the playoffs, they lose. Everybody makes it all about him. But in the same playoff game, Ryan Tannehill wasn't that impressive. The Chargers, they beat him. But that was his rookie year. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even sniff the playoffs. Then they lost to the Bills, but everybody act like Josh Allen had a great game. Josh Allen was worse than him, probably. You know, Allen was playing terrible that whole game. Nobody brings up Josh Allen, though, right? Joe Burrow probably has the best receiving core in the league. Like, that's no cap. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Who else he got? Taj Boyd. And they got a tight end that's good. They got a couple of them. Then you got Joe Mixon. Then they just found another running back who might replace Joe Mixon because he has a lot of off-the-field issues. But Lamar had Mark Andrews and an okay running game. They said that's enough. Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. He got the tight end before Kincaid got there. He had a decent tight end. And he had running backs. They just don't use the running back. But what would possess the media to do this? Because they don't want black quarterbacks. They know that it's the inevitable. So they're trying to keep the white quarterbacks around to be backups so they can still have their white boy ratio. They're trying their best to stop it, but it's hard to because Lamar keeps breaking the mold. He keeps proving them wrong. Now, Puts Flori-Ho and Chris only got a job because of his daddy Sims. We're making picks. They said that the 49ers, just like Magic Man and all of these other trolls, tried to say the Ravens are going to get blown out. I told Magic Man, are you serious? What is showing you that San Fran is going to blow them out? The only reason San Fran blew out the Dallas Cowboys was because that was their Super Bowl. And they blew out the Eagles because they were like, yeah, we got to get back at these guys. But yet you never paid attention to the game where they played Minnesota, the game they played Cleveland Browns, and then the other game they lost. I can't think of the other game, but they lost that game. They lost to the Ravens, but they lost to somebody else too. Brock Purdy was exposed. Brock Purdy was exposed. Expose. He was exposed. I told you guys, this guy is a game manager. You got Richard Sherman, who didn't even win a Super Bowl with these bums. But yet, he wants the cap for them so bad. Marshawn Lynch had to check his ass one of them Thursdays and said, yo, man, what is you doing? You are clapping way too hard for the 49ers, bro. And they're like, oh, he used to play for them. Nah, but what did he win his bowl with? Who did he win his bowl with? The Seahawks. And you over here capping for the enemy. That's why I lost respect for Richard Sherman. I've lost so much respect for Richard Sherman. His weak-ass takes. Talking about numbers. Nick, stop playing with numbers. He wants to use numbers because he has a higher, I believe, interception. He has more interceptions, I believe, than Darrelle Revis. But you're not better than Darrelle Revis, Richard Sherman. Darrelle Revis traveled and locked down the best receivers. You don't believe me? I could pull up the film and show him against the best wide receivers. You always had a deep two shell. Or you always had that guy in the back covering both of y'all asses, which was Earl Thomas. You were the mouthpiece of the Seattle defense. but you were not the best player on your defense. The best player on your defense was Earl Thomas. Then it was Cam Chancellor. Then it was Bobby Wagner. Those three guys were the best players on your defense. So stop with the cap about goddamn numbers. Revis didn't have a lot of picks because nobody was throwing his way. It was called Revis Island. Ain't nobody ever heard of a Sherman Island. Ain't nobody called Sherman a top tier cornerback as far as a cover. Patrick Peterson was better than you. Patrick Peterson traveled with everyone. He travels. Right? So what is this notion? Man, we finna start pulling a lot of you DBs card. Or a lot of you sports analysts card. You riding for the 49ers, Richard Sherman, because of what happened in Seattle with Russ. You're still mad at Pete Carroll about that bullshit. Now, Mike Flori-Ho and Chris only got a job because of his daddy Sims. Were up there, right? Mike Florio said that they're going to beat the shit out of the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson had to come out and put him on ice. Lamar Jackson basically said that, look, that's disrespectful. Those guys put on their pads just like us. They play the game. You know, I understand you got to give your takes. That's cool. Give your takes, but just be respectful. You know, if he had pads on, he wouldn't be saying all of that. Now, Mike Florio tried to respond by saying, I apologize, and that fake-ass apology. Now, Mike Flori-Ho is trying to say, I'm glad I was the motivation for the Ravens. You ain't motivate shit. The Ravens have been blowing guys out just like the Niners, Flori-Ho. If you actually did your research, which you bums don't do, he's the guy in charge of the pro football thing. Where the PFF bullshit. He is the one in charge of that. He is a biased-ass white boy. They don't like Lamar, so they try their best to go out their way to diss him. Every week is somebody they try to put over Lamar. Every week. And you know what Lamar keeps doing? Winning. Lamar don't need the numbers. Lamar is worried about one thing. Dubs. Now, they lost their running back. That's going to hurt them down the stretch. I still think they need to go get another one. And not no Kenyon Drake. They need to go get another running back. But Flori-Ho does not pay attention. They blew out the Lions. You guys hyped the Lions up. They blew them out. Now you guys want to say the Lions really ain't all that. That's bullshit. The Lions have a solid team. The only problem with the Lions is closing. It's closing the game and putting together 4 quarters of football. If they can do that, man, they on point. Seriously. They'll be on point. They just have to put together a whole game. Not just a half. And they got to pray Campbell don't mess them up and call the wrong play on the 4th down. Then they're going to bring up the Rams game where they were struggling, and then the Chargers game. The Chargers and the Rams, Brandon Staley came from the Rams, right? The Chargers and the Rams give their type of defenses, give Lamar trouble because Lamar can't just scramble everywhere because their defense is very athletic. I think their defense is a little more athletic than the Niners. But what did Lamar Jackson do? He won that game. He brought his team back, won the game, got him to overtime. Ty Wallace came and just closed the door on special teams. It's a team effort. It's not just one person, Flori-Ho. But what has Brock Purdy been impressive? Brock Purdy's not impressive. He's a goddamn game manager. You see, I don't pay attention to people on the internet. I talk to people in real life. I live a real life. I talk to fans every day. They know Purdy ain't nothing but a game manager. They just don't want Purdy to mess the game up. You saw what happened when Kyle Shanahan tried to make him take the game over. He lost. He lost the game. So, before you go around disrespecting people, get your shit together. But he's not, because Flori-Ho is going to do this all the time. He's a scumbag. And all he does is just tear people down that he could tear down. They don't like Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson got the braids in his head. He got the little twist. They don't like that. He got a grill. He's a guy who, you know, he speaks, he's very intelligent. Yeah, he's country. That's how we all from Florida is, dog. We talk like that. That's just how we talk. That doesn't mean that we hood or ghetto. Like, that's just the way we talk. You know what I'm saying? So, don't take that for meaning we lack intelligence. Lamar Jackson has gone through more of a change than all of them. Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs and he took off. Before that, Josh Allen was average. And he was. So stop. I showed you that Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, I showed y'all Lamar Jackson has a better completion percentage and a better winning percentage than Josh Allen. You guys got upset at that. Y'all didn't want to hear that shit. But if it was Peyton Manning, you guys would be all over his jock strap. And they're like, man, Peyton Manning won Super Bowls. Peyton Manning should have lost the Bears Super Bowl. The Bears lost the Super Bowl because they went with that bum Rex Grossman. Rex Grossman had 2 or 3 good games in the playoffs. Then when it got to the big game, he turned into the Rex Grossman we know. Interception machine, turnover machine, like he was at Florida. So, don't give me that. And then he only won against Cam and them because they cheated Cam and them. Because they wanted to give him a ring because his brother Eli was outplaying him in the playoffs. Now, he's a better quarterback than Eli, but Eli's more clutcher than him. And when the big games came on, Eli performed. He rose to the occasion. Unlike Peyton Manning. And Eli was a game manager. So he was just clutch down the stretch. He can make clutch plays. And he's still not a Hall of Famer. So they want to continue discrediting Lamar Jackson because all of their bum quarterbacks ain't doing shit. Patrick Mahomes ain't doing shit. I just broke down film on him last night. I showed you guys what the problem. We're going to break down Jalen Hurts and the Giants tonight. Hopefully they don't strike me with something and all copyright and all that, which is BS. It's like they always trying to find a way because they mad because I was cooking Pat Mahomes' ass. Cooking him. He couldn't handle it. I mean, the YouTube couldn't handle it. So they're like, oh, you're using this. Like, yeah, man, look. I'm showing you that he has bad mechanics. Flori-Ho ain't saying one word about Josh Allen. Josh Allen has been playing terrible this year. Terrible. Jalen Hurts has been playing terrible. All these quarterbacks that everybody wanted to put over Lamar are playing terrible. Dak Prescott's a game manager. He proved it. Dak can't go on the road and snatch anybody's heart. He can't do it. He not built like that. Oh, man, I'm finna park there. What they talking? You know, he's not built like that. Hold on real quick, y'all. I got to back up in this parking spot. Got to park. Going to work. But, yeah, Flori-Ho out here just trying to get clicks and views. That's all they do. He's the owner of PFF, so he has a biased take. That's why I tell you guys, when y'all want to know about football or basketball or who really doing something and who not, holla at your boy. Holla at me. Because I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to break the game down to a science, and I'm going to let you guys know what's going on. So, Lamar, shout out to you, my Florida brethren. Man, keep repping for Florida, dog. Shout out to Pompano Beach, man, for real. Shout out to the Berg, man. Shout out to Jayville, you know, MIA, everybody, man, in Florida. Apopka, Opelika, all of y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Florida, stand up, man. I'm out. Oh, yeah, tonight we will be breaking down the film on the Eagles and Giants. I'm going to show you guys. So you guys have a good day, man. I'll holler at you. I'm out. Deezy.